God is not some external deity sitting on a throne in the distant heavens, judging and determining your fate. No, God is your own wonderful human imagination. That is God. The God of whom we speak dwells within you as your own marvelous creative power. As the Bible tells us, the kingdom of God is within you. Your consciousness, your I am-ness, is God in action. When we speak of God giving you something big, we are speaking of the manifestation of your desires through the perfect operation of divine law. For imagination creates reality, and all things are possible to your imaginative power. This is the first and greatest truth you must accept if you are to recognize the signs that precede manifestation. The first sign, a sudden shift in your thinking. The first unmistakable sign that God is about to bestow upon you something magnificent is a sudden, unexplainable shift in your thinking. Ideas and concepts that once seemed solid and unchangeable begin to loosen their grip on your consciousness. Old limiting beliefs start to dissolve of their own accord without struggle or effort on your part. This happens because your I am, your God self, is preparing the mental soil for the seed of your desire to take root. Just as a farmer must first prepare the ground before planting, your consciousness is being tilled and made fertile for your coming good. You may notice that thoughts which once troubled you greatly no longer have power over you. Perhaps you've desired financial abundance, but have been plagued by thoughts of lack and limitation all your life. Suddenly, these thoughts seem foreign, as though they belong to another person entirely. You no longer identify with them, and they pass through your awareness like clouds in the sky, leaving no impression. This mental shift is not something you are doing. It is being done unto you by the God within, preparing you for the manifestation of your desire. It is the divine intelligence operating through your consciousness, making straight the path for your good to come into being. So the first sign is this remarkable mental shift, where old patterns of thought lose their grip on you, and new possibilities begin to feel natural and intuitive. Your mind expands effortlessly to accommodate the reality of your desire. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. This scripture speaks to this very phenomenon. The higher thoughts of your God self are displacing the limited earthly thoughts of your former state. Rejoice when you notice this sign, for it means that God is indeed preparing to give you something wonderful. The second sign, an unusual feeling of peace and detachment. The second sign follows naturally from the first. As your thinking shifts, you will experience an unusual, perhaps unprecedented feeling of peace and detachment regarding your desire. This is not indifference, nor is it resignation. It is a calm, quiet knowing that transcends ordinary confidence. It feels like relief, as though your desire has already been fulfilled, though your senses may tell you otherwise. This peace comes from a deeper part of yourself. It is your God self, your I am, assuring you that all is well, that all is working according to divine law. When this peace descends upon you, know with absolute certainty that your manifestation is approaching. Many make the mistake of thinking they must constantly struggle, affirm, and work themselves into emotional states to manifest their desires. But when God is about to give you something big, the opposite occurs. A great stillness comes over you. Be still and know that I am God. This stillness, this divine peace that passeth understanding, is a clear sign that your manifestation is at hand. In this state, you no longer feel the need to convince yourself of anything. You no longer feel compelled to repeatedly visualize or affirm. The work is done. I recall a friend who had desired a particular position in his company for many years. He had worked diligently, visualized, and done everything he knew to attain this position. One day he called me and said, "Neville, the strangest thing has happened. I no longer care whether I get the position or not. I feel completely at peace." 3 days later, he was called into his superior's office and offered only the position he had desired, but a better one with greater responsibility and compensation. This peace, this divine detachment, is the second unmistakable sign that God is about to give you something wonderful. When you feel it, trust it. Rest in it. Allow it to envelop you completely. The third sign, vivid, realistic dreams related to your desire. The third sign comes in the hours when your conscious mind is at rest. Your dreams become unusually vivid, detailed, and realistic in relation to your desire. In sleep, your conscious mind relaxes its grip on your perception, allowing your God self to communicate more directly through the language of symbols and experiences. These dreams are not ordinary dreams. They have a different quality to them, a reality, a tangibility that sets them apart. In these dreams, you may experience yourself already in possession of your desire. The dream may be so vivid that upon waking, you must remind yourself that it was just a dream. But I tell you, these are not mere dreams. They are communications from your God self, showing you what is being prepared for your waking experience. The Bible is filled with examples of God communicating through dreams. Joseph was told in a dream to take Mary as his wife. The 3 wise men were warned in a dream not to return to Herod. Throughout Scripture, dreams are a divine channel of communication. When you begin to have these unusually vivid dreams related to your desire, pay close attention. They are the third sign that God is about to give you something wonderful. Your subconscious mind, which God in you, is showing you the reality that is being prepared for your waking experience. A student of mine had long desired to move to Paris and establish her art studio there. For years, this had seemed an impossible dream due to financial constraints and family obligations. Then she began to have remarkably vivid dreams of living in Paris. In these dreams, she could smell the city, feel the texture of the walls in her studio, hear the sounds from the street below her window. Within 3 months of these dreams beginning, a series of unexpected events unfolded that made her move to Paris not only possible but necessary for her work. These vivid, realistic dreams are a clear sign that God is communicating with you, showing you what is being prepared. They are evidence that the seed of your desire has taken root in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind and is growing toward manifestation. The fourth sign, synchronicities and coincidences multiply. The fourth sign is one that often brings a smile of wonder to your face. Synchronicities and meaningful coincidences begin to multiply in your experience. You may think of someone only to have them call you moments later. You might open a book to exactly the page containing information you need. You may overhear conversations that seem directed specifically at you and your situation. These synchronicities are not random chance. They are the result of the shifting of your consciousness. As your inner world changes, your outer world must rearrange itself to match your new mental state. These coincidences are evidence of this rearrangement taking place. When God is about to give you something big, the entire universe conspires to bring it to you. Doors begin to open that you did not knock on. Resources appear that you did not consciously seek. People come into your life who are instrumental to the fulfillment of your desire. In the Bible we read, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." The expected end is the fulfillment of your desire, and these synchronicities are thoughts of peace, arranging all things for your good. A gentleman I knew had longed to write a book on a specialized historical subject, but lacked certain rare research materials. Within the span of 2 weeks, after his consciousness had shifted regarding this project, he was unexpectedly introduced to a collector who owned precisely the materials he needed, received an unsolicited offer from a publisher interested in his specific topic, and found a diary in a second-hand bookshop that contained eyewitness accounts of the very events he wished to chronicle. These were not coincidences, but evidence of divine arrangement. When you begin to notice these meaningful coincidences proliferating in your life, know that they are the fourth sign that God is about to give you something wonderful. They are confirmation that all things are working together for your good. The fifth sign, a period of unexpected challenge or confusion. Now I come to a sign that is often misinterpreted. Before a major manifestation, many experience a period of unexpected challenge or confusion. Things may seem to get worse before they get better. Old problems may intensify, or new obstacles may arise. Many lose faith at this critical juncture. believing that their manifestation has failed. But I tell you, this period of challenge is often the fifth sign that God is about to give you something wonderful. Why does this occur? Think of it as the final clearing of old patterns and energies to make way for your new state. Just as a demolition must precede the construction of a new building, so must certain elements of your old life be cleared away to make room for your new good. This period of challenge also serves another purpose. It strengthens your faith. Faith that has never been tested is not truly faith. It is merely hope. True faith stands firm even when appearances contradict it. This challenging period gives you the opportunity to demonstrate your faith, to show that you trust in the reality of your inner state more than the evidence of your senses. In the Bible, the children of Israel had to face the Red Sea before them and Pharaoh's army behind them before their deliverance was manifested. Joseph was sold into slavery and imprisoned before he rose to become the second most powerful man in Egypt. These challenges were not failures of manifestation, but necessary parts of the journey. When you encounter unexpected challenges after you have planted the seed of your desire, do not despair. Know that it is the fifth sign that God is about to give you something wonderful. Hold steadfast to your faith, knowing that these challenges are merely the rearrangement of circumstances necessary for the fulfillment of your desire. The sixth sign, inspiration and intuitive guidance increase. The sixth sign is a marked increase in inspiration and intuitive guidance. You begin to receive clear inner promptings about actions to take or avoid. Ideas come to you that you know you did not think up yourself. They simply appear in your consciousness, fully formed. This increased intuition is your God self communicating with you more directly. As the manifestation of your desire approaches, the channel between your conscious mind and your I am becomes clearer and more open. These intuitive promptings are not vague feelings or emotional impulses. They have a different quality, a clarity and certainty that sets them apart. They often come when your mind is relaxed and receptive, such as during meditation, upon waking, or while engaged in routine activities. When you receive these intuitive promptings, act upon them, even if they seem to have no logical connection to your desire. The God within you sees the entire path to your manifestation, while your conscious mind can only see a few steps ahead. Trust this guidance implicitly. A woman I knew had long desired to establish her own business. She began receiving intuitive promptings to take a pottery class, something she had never been interested in before. Though it seemed unrelated to her business aspirations, she followed this guidance. In the class, she met her future business partner, who had the exact complementary skills and resources she needed. Together, they built a successful enterprise that far exceeded what she had originally imagined for herself. When you notice this increase in intuitive guidance, know that it is the sixth sign that God is about to give you something wonderful. Follow this guidance faithfully, for it is leading you unerringly to the fulfillment of your desire. The seventh sign, dissolution of time perception. The seventh sign is subtle yet profound. Your perception of time begins to shift in relation to your desire. The sense of waiting diminishes, and you find yourself dwelling more in the eternal now. In the state of manifestation, there is no time. Your desire is not something to be attained in some future moment, but a reality to be accepted now. As God prepares to give you something wonderful, your consciousness begins to align with this timeless perspective. You may notice that you think less and less about when your desire will manifest. The question then loses its urgency and eventually its relevance. You know that it is done, and the timing of its appearance in your three-dimensional reality becomes almost an afterthought. This dissolution of time perception is evidence that you are entering the state of the wish fulfilled, where your desire exists as a present fact, not a future possibility. It is a sign that your consciousness has accepted the reality of your desire at the deepest level. In the Bible we read, "Before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear." This scripture speaks to this very timelessness. In the realm of spirit, where all manifestation begins, your desire is already fulfilled before you even ask. The appearance of your desire in the world of form is merely the final stage of a process that is already complete in consciousness. When you notice this shift in your time perception, Know that it is the seventh sign that God is about to give you something wonderful. You are aligning with the eternal now, where all things exist in their perfect state of fulfillment. The eighth sign, physical sensations and energy shifts. The eighth sign manifests in your physical body. You may experience unusual energy sensations, shifts in your normal physical patterns, or even temporary discomforts that have no apparent medical cause. Common experiences include sensations of heat or tingling, particularly the head, heart, or hands, changes in sleep patterns, often including waking between 3 and 5 a.m., sudden bursts of energy followed by periods of fatigue, or an overall sense of being more sensitive and attuned to your environment. These physical sensations are evidence of the energetic restructuring taking place as your manifestation approaches. Your physical body is the final frontier for the expression of your consciousness. As your inner state shifts to accommodate your desire, your body must likewise adjust. In the Bible, Jacob wrestled with an angel and emerged with a dislocated hip. This physical change marked his transition from Jacob to Israel, from one state of consciousness to another. Similarly, these physical sensations you experience mark your transition from your old state to the new state that contains your desire. Do not be alarmed by these sensations. They are temporary adjustments as your physical vehicle attunes itself to your new frequency. They are the eighth sign that God is about to give you something wonderful. The ninth sign, external confirmations from unexpected sources. The ninth sign comes in the form of external confirmations from unexpected sources. People who know nothing of your desire may make comments that confirm its reality. You may receive validation from channels that have no logical way of knowing what you have been imagining. These external confirmations are not the cause of your manifestation, but they are signs that your new state is being reflected back to you by your environment. They are evidence that the world is reshaping itself around your new concept of self. A man I knew had been imagining himself as a published author, though he had told no one of his desire. Within a short period, 3 different people, none of whom knew each other, asked him when his book would be published, or commented that he had the look of an author. He had made no external changes to prompt these remarks. They were simply reflections of his inner change being perceived by others. When you receive these confirmations from unexpected sources, know that they are the ninth sign that God is about to give you something wonderful. The world around you cannot help but reflect back to you the state you have inwardly claimed. The 10th sign, a profound sense of gratitude before manifestation. The 10th and perhaps most spiritually significant sign is the arising of profound gratitude before the physical manifestation of your desire. This is not the gratitude that follows receiving something, but the gratitude that precedes it, a deep appreciation for what is already yours in consciousness. This pre-manifestation gratitude has a particular quality. It is not forced or practiced, but arises spontaneously from your being. You find yourself genuinely thankful for your desire, as though it were already an accomplished fact in your world. This gratitude is evidence that you have truly entered the state of the wish fulfilled. You are no longer looking forward to your desire. You are giving thanks from within the reality where it already exists. In the Bible, Jesus demonstrated this principle when he stood before Lazarus' tomb. Before any external evidence of resurrection, he said, "Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me." His gratitude preceded the physical manifestation. When you feel this spontaneous gratitude for your desire before its physical appearance, know that it is the 10th sign that God is about to give you something wonderful. Your consciousness is fully aligned with your desire, and its manifestation in form is assured. The 11th sign, past desires manifest after you've released them. Here is a fascinating sign that often goes unnoticed. As God prepares to give you something big, you may suddenly find that past desires, things you once wanted desperately, but eventually released, begin to manifest in your experience. This occurs because the manifestation of your current desire has raised your overall consciousness to a new level. At this higher frequency, things that were previously blocked can now flow into your experience. It is as though a dam has been removed, allowing not only your current desire, but also past desires to manifest. The key point is that these past desires manifest after you have truly released them, after you no longer need them to feel complete or fulfilled. This is the paradox of manifestation. What you release with complete faith often returns to you. A woman I knew had spent years trying to manifest a particular sum of money, using every technique she knew. Eventually, she surrendered this desire, focusing instead on a new career path that brought her joy, regardless of financial compensation. Within months of this surrender, she received an unexpected inheritance of almost exactly the sum she had originally desired. When past desires begin to manifest after you have released them, know that it is the 11th sign that God is about to give you something wonderful. The floodgates have opened, and all good is flowing freely into your experience. The 12th sign, a sense of divine inevitability. The 12th sign is perhaps the most subtle, yet the most definitive. It is a pervasive sense of divine inevitability regarding your desire. You know with absolute certainty that your manifestation must occur, not through hope or positive thinking, but through your understanding of divine law. This sense of inevitability stems from your experiential knowledge that imagination creates reality. You have moved beyond intellectual acceptance of this principle to embodied knowing. You understand that what you have impressed upon your subconscious mind must, by divine law, project itself onto the screen of space. In this state, doubts may still arise, but they no longer disturb you. They are merely surface ripples on the deep ocean of your certainty. You observe them with detachment, knowing they have no power to prevent what has already been accomplished in consciousness. This sense of divine inevitability is not arrogance or presumption. It is simply your recognition of the perfect operation of law, just as you do not doubt that a planted seed will grow when given the proper conditions. You do not doubt that your impressed desire must manifest. A friend once shared with me his experience of this sign. After years of working toward a particular achievement, he reached a point where he simply knew it was done. It's not that I believe it will happen, Neville, he told me. It's that I can't imagine a universe in which it doesn't happen. It's as inevitable as a sunrise. Within weeks, what he had imagined was externalized in the most natural way. When you feel this sense of divine inevitability, know that it is the 12th sign that God is about to give you something wonderful. You have aligned yourself perfectly with divine law, and your manifestation is assured. The final manifestation, the natural, effortless unfolding. When these signs have appeared in your experience, the actual manifestation of your desire often occurs in the most natural, effortless manner. It rarely comes with drama or fanfare. Instead, it unfolds so organically that you might momentarily forget that you once desired it. This natural unfolding is the hallmark of true manifestation. What you have imagined doesn't drop into your world like a meteor from the sky, but grows from within it like a flower from fertile soil. The people, circumstances, and events involved all seem perfectly natural, as though they could not have happened any other way. The biblical phrase, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts, speaks to this effortless unfoldment. Your manifestation comes not through force or struggle, but through the natural operation of divine law. When your desire manifests in this natural, effortless way, it is confirmation that you have successfully applied the law of assumption. You have planted your seed in consciousness, nurtured it with faith, and allowed divine law to bring it to fruition in its own perfect way and time. Integrating these signs into your practice. Now that we have explored the 12 signs that appear when God is about to give you something big, how can you integrate this knowledge into your manifestation practice? First, understand that not all these signs may appear for every desire. The signs you experience depend on the nature of your desire, your current state of consciousness, and the gap between your present state and the state you wish to embody. Second, do not consciously seek these signs. They are not the cause of your manifestation, but the effects of your shifted consciousness. Focusing too intently on looking for signs can actually delay your manifestation by implying that it is still immature. Third, when you do notice these signs appearing in your experience, acknowledge them with gratitude, but without attachment. They are confirmations of your successful application of the law. but attaching too much importance to them can create a new barrier between you and your desire. The most effective approach is to maintain your focus on the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Dwell in the state where your desire is already a fact. Live from that state consistently. The signs we have discussed will appear naturally as you do this, and your manifestation will unfold in divine order. The deeper meaning behind these signs. Beyond their value as confirmations of approaching manifestation, these signs reveal a profound truth about the nature of reality and consciousness. They demonstrate that the outer world is merely a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. As your inner world shifts, your outer world must follow suit. It has no choice in the matter. This is divine law. The signs we have discussed are simply the visible effects of your invisible transformation. Understanding this, you come to see that manifestation is not about getting something you don't have, but about revealing what is already yours in consciousness. It is not acquisition, but revelation, the unveiling of what already exists within you. In the Bible, it is written, "It is done unto you as you believe." This scripture encapsulates the entire process of manifestation. Your belief, your assumption, your inner conviction determines what is done unto you in the world of form. The signs we have discussed are evidence of this principle in action. They are the bridge between your inner assumption and its outer expression. They confirm that the process is working, that your seed is growing, that your harvest is approaching. Maintaining faith through the process. Perhaps the greatest challenge in the manifestation process is maintaining faith when appearances contradict your assumption. This is where understanding these signs becomes most valuable. They provide confirmation that divine law is operating, even when your senses tell you otherwise. Remember that manifestation follows a divine pattern and timing that may not align with your expectations. The seed must grow underground before it breaks the surface. The child must develop in the womb before birth. Your manifestation too has its gestation period. During this gestation, the signs we have discussed are like the first flutters of life felt by an expectant mother. They assure you that growth is occurring, that development is proceeding, that life is forming according to divine pattern. Hold fast to your faith during this period. Know that what you have planted in consciousness must, by divine law, come to fruition. The signs confirm this truth. The ultimate sign, becoming the person WHO has your desire. Underlying all the signs we have discussed is one fundamental transformation you become. In consciousness, the person who already has your desire. This is the ultimate sign and the cause of all other signs. This transformation is not about pretending or affirming. It is about genuinely shifting your self-concept so completely that you are in essence a new person, one for whom your desire is a present fact, not a future possibility. When this shift occurs, you no longer need to manifest your desire, because you already have it in the only place it truly exists, consciousness. Its appearance in your three-dimensional reality is merely the outer world catching up to your inner knowing. In the Bible it is written, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." This transformation of mind, this renewal of your self-concept, is the essence of manifestation. All the signs we have discussed flow from this fundamental shift. Conclusion: trust the divine process. As we conclude our exploration of the signs that appear when God is about to give you something big, I urge you to trust the divine process completely. Know that your imagination creates reality. Know that what you have impressed upon your subconscious mind must objectify itself in your world. The signs we have discussed are not the cause of your manifestation, but confirmation that the process is unfolding perfectly. They are evidence of divine law in operation, of the bridge being built between your inner assumption and its outer expression. Trust God, your own wonderful human imagination, to bring forth your desires in divine order. Live from the state of the wish fulfilled, regardless of appearances. Know that as you do this, all things are working together for your good. For imagination is indeed God in action, and through the disciplined use of this divine creative power, all things are possible to you. The signs we have discussed are simply confirmation of this eternal truth. Trust the signs when they appear, but more importantly, trust the God within you who is their source. For it is done unto you as you believe, and believing is the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Tonight, as you retire to sleep, enter the state of the wish fulfilled. Feel the reality of your desire as a present fact. Know that as you persist in this state, the signs will appear, and your manifestation will unfold with divine precision and timing. Remember always, God, your own wonderful human imagination, is the only creative power. There is no other God, and this God is within you as your own consciousness. Use this power wisely, lovingly, and deliberately, and watch as all things conform to your concept of self. Thank you for your attention this evening. May your manifestations be swift. May they be perfect in every breaking you way, and may they bring you and all connected to you the greatest joy and fulfillment. For imagination creates reality, and through the proper application of this divine law, you are limited only by your capacity to imagine. All things, all states, all circumstances, all experiences are yours to claim through the wonderful creative power that is God. Action. Additional reflections, the deeper dimensions of manifestation. As we delve deeper into the art and science of conscious manifestation, it becomes clear that there are layers of understanding beyond the signs themselves. Let us explore some of these deeper dimensions to enrich your practice. One profound truth that often goes unrecognized is that manifestation is not merely about acquiring things or circumstances. It is about expressing the fullness of who you truly are. Your desires are not random or arbitrary. They are specific expressions of your divine nature seeking to experience itself in form. When you desire something, whether it be a relationship, career success, financial abundance, or creative expression, you are actually desiring an experience of yourself. You are seeking to know yourself as the one who has and experiences that specific expression of life. Understanding this transforms how you approach manifestation. You no longer see it as getting something external, but as revealing something internal, an aspect of your divine nature that wishes to be known and experienced. The signs we have discussed take on new meaning in this light. They are not merely indicators that something external is approaching. They are confirmations that you are successful in revealing more of your true divine nature. This perspective aligns perfectly with Scripture. The kingdom of God is within you takes on profound significance when understood in this way. Your desires and their fulfillment are all contained within you as aspects of your divine nature seeking expression. The role of surrender in manifestation. Another dimension worthy of deeper exploration is the paradoxical role of surrender in the manifestation process. While manifestation requires definite intention and assumption, it also requires a surrender to divine timing and wisdom. This surrender is not passive resignation, but active trust in the perfect unfolding of divine law. It is the recognition that while you choose the what of your manifestation through imagination, the how and when are best left to divine intelligence. Many of the signs we have discussed, particularly the sense of peace and detachment, are evidence of this surrender taking place within you. As you truly surrender to divine process, your manifestation accelerates, free from the limitations imposed by your conscious mind's concepts of possibility and timing. In the Bible we read, "Thy will be done," contrary to common interpretation. This is not about submitting to an external God's will instead of your own. Rather, it is surrendering your limited conscious concept of how your desire should manifest to the unlimited wisdom of your God self, which knows the perfect path to your fulfillment. This surrender allows your manifestation to exceed your expectations, to come in ways more wonderful than your conscious mind could have devised. It opens you to receive not just what you have imagined, but the fullness of what your divine nature wishes to express through that desire. The manifestation of states VCS, things. A further distinction worth understanding is the difference between manifesting states and manifesting things. While most focus on manifesting specific objects, circumstances, or relationships, the deeper practice involves manifesting states of consciousness. When you successfully manifest a state such as confidence, peace, abundance, consciousness, or loving connection, the things, circumstances, and relationships that correspond to that state follow naturally. They are the effects, not the cause. Many of the signs we have discussed, particularly the mental shifts and emotional changes, indicate that you are successfully manifesting a new state of consciousness. The external manifestations that follow are simply the natural expressions of that state. In the Bible, Jesus taught, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." The kingdom is the state of consciousness. The things are what naturally flow from that state. By focusing on manifesting states rather than things, you align yourself with the true creative process. You work from cause rather than effect, from essence rather than form. This approach yields manifestations that are more profound, more stable, and more satisfying than those pursued directly. The collective dimension of manifestation. While manifestation is fundamentally an individual process, your consciousness creating your reality, it also has a collective dimension that is often overlooked. Your manifestations do not occur in isolation, but within a shared reality where other consciousnesses are also creating. This does not mean that others can prevent your manifestations, but it does mean that the form and timing of your manifestations may be influenced by the collective consciousness in which you participate. Some of the signs we have discussed, particularly synchronicities and external confirmations, indicate that the collective field is aligning with your individual creation. They show that the shared reality is reorganizing itself to accommodate your new state of consciousness. In the Bible, we read, "Where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them." This speaks to the amplified creative power that becomes available when consciousness is aligned around a shared assumption. By understanding this collective dimension, you can approach manifestation with greater wisdom and compassion. You recognize that your creations affect others and theirs affect you, not as limitations, but as opportunities for harmonious co-creation. The evolution of your manifestation abilities. As you practice conscious manifestation and become familiar with the signs that precede external results, you will notice an evolution in your manifestation abilities. What once required intense effort becomes effortless. What once took months manifests in days or even moments. This evolution occurs because you are developing what might be called manifestation muscles. Just as physical muscles grow stronger with consistent use, your creative capacity expands with regular practice. The signs we have discussed may change in their intensity or duration as your manifestation abilities evolve. Some may become so subtle as to be barely noticeable, others may intensify as your sensitivity increases. The ultimate evolution is reaching a state where manifestation is no longer a separate practice, but your natural way of being. You live in continuous awareness of your creative power, consciously choosing the states from which you create your reality moment by moment. In the Bible, Jesus demonstrated this evolved state. His manifestations, healing, abundance, transformation occurred instantaneously because there was no gap between his assumption and his experience. "I and my Father are one" was not merely a philosophical statement, but a description of his unified consciousness. This evolution is available to all who persist in the practice of conscious manifestation. As you become more attuned to the signs and more confident in your creative power, your manifestations become more immediate, more precise, and more aligned with your highest good. The ultimate purpose of manifestation. As we conclude these additional reflections, let us consider the ultimate purpose of manifestation. Beyond acquiring things or experiences, beyond even expressing your divine nature, manifestation serves the highest purpose of awakening you to your true identity. Through the practice of conscious manifestation, you gradually awaken to the truth that you are not merely a human personality seeking to improve its conditions, but divine consciousness experiencing itself in human form. You discover that you are not in the universe is in you. The signs we have discussed are breadcrumbs on this path of awakening. They lead you to the ultimate realization that all you seek is already within you, that all you desire to experience is an aspect of your own divine nature seeking expression. In the Bible, Jesus taught, "I am the resurrection and the life." This I am is your true identity, the divine consciousness that is the source of all manifestation. As you awaken to this truth, manifestation transforms from a practice you do to an expression of who you are. This awakening is the greatest gift that God, your own wonderful human imagination, can give you. It is the realization of your divine nature, the recognition of your creative power, and the acceptance of your responsibility as a conscious creator of your reality. Imagine, if you will, that your desire has already been fulfilled. Feel the joy, the relief, the overwhelming sense of gratitude that accompanies the realization of your deepest wishes. This feeling, this state of being, is the key to unlocking the infinite potential that lies dormant within you. You see, the world around us is nothing more than a reflection of our inner state. What we perceive as reality is merely a shadow cast by the light of our consciousness. And just as a shadow cannot exist without light, our external experiences cannot manifest without the power of our imagination. Consider for a moment the nature of prayer. Many of us have been taught to beseech an external deity, to plead for favors from a being separate from ourselves. But I tell you now, true prayer is not a petition to an outside force. It is a recognition of the divine power that resides within each one of us. When you pray, you are not reaching out to a distant God. You are, in fact, awakening to the God within you. This God, this infinite creative force, is not separate from you. It is you in your truest, most essential form. And it is through this understanding that your prayers find their answer. The Bible tells us, before they call, I will answer. While they are yet speaking, I will hear. This is not a promise of some future event, but a statement of an eternal truth. The answer to your prayer exists now, in this very moment. It is not something to be created, but something to be realized. Your task then is not to make your desire come true, but to align yourself with the reality in which it is already true. This is the art of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When you can live from the end, when you can experience the joy and gratitude of your desire, as if it were already accomplished, you set in motion the forces that will bring it into your physical experience. Many of you may be thinking, but how can I feel something that hasn't happened yet? To this I say, your imagination is more real than the world you see around you. The physical world is malleable, constantly changing and reshaping itself in response to the images we hold in our minds. Think of it this way. When you plant a seed in the ground, do you dig it up every day to see if it has sprouted? Of course not. You trust in the unseen processes of nature, knowing that in due time the seed will grow into a mighty tree. Your desires are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Once planted, they need only your faith and your unwavering assumption of their fulfillment to grow into reality. This is the true meaning of faith. It is not blind belief in something unseen. It is the evidence of things not seen. When you can feel the reality of your desire so vividly that it becomes more real to you than the physical world around you, that is faith. And it is this faith that moves mountains. Now, some of you may be wondering about the role of action in this process. Should you simply sit back and wait for your desires to manifest? Not at all. Action is indeed necessary, but it is inspired action. When you live in the end, when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you will find yourself naturally guided to take the steps that lead to manifestation. These actions will not feel like struggle or strain. They will feel natural, effortless, as if you are being carried along by an invisible current. This is because you are no longer trying to make something happen. You are simply allowing what is already true in your imagination to express itself in your physical reality. Remember, the world is yourself pushed out. Every person, every circumstance you encounter is a reflection of your own consciousness. When you change your inner state, the world around you must change to reflect this new reality. This is not magic or wishful thinking. It is the operation of universal law. Let me share with you a powerful technique to help you maintain this state of living in the end. Before you go to sleep each night, replay in your mind a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Make it as vivid and as real as possible. Engage all your senses. Feel the emotions you would feel if your desire were already realized. As you drift off to sleep in this state, you are impressing this reality upon your subconscious mind, and it is your subconscious mind that shapes your world. By doing this night after night, you are reprogramming your subconscious to accept this new reality as truth. During your waking hours, whenever doubts or fears arise, and they will, for that is the nature of the human mind, gently return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Do not fight against your negative thoughts. Simply replace them with the feeling of your desire accomplished. This practice requires persistence and patience. You are overcoming a lifetime of habit of seeing yourself as separate from your desires. But I promise you, with consistent application, you will begin to see changes in your world. At first, they may be small synchronicity here, a fortunate coincidence there. But as you persist, these changes will grow larger and more frequent until your entire world has reshaped itself to match your inner vision. Now let us address a common concern. Many of you may be thinking, but what if my desire doesn't manifest immediately? What if weeks or months pass and I see no change? To this I say, time is an illusion of the physical world. In the realm of imagination, where all things are possible, time does not exist. Your desire is fulfilled now, in the eternal present moment. The time it takes to appear in your physical reality is determined by your ability to maintain the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The more consistently you can live in the end, the more quickly you will see results in your outer world. But do not make the mistake of looking for signs or trying to figure out how your desire will manifest. This is a form of doubt, a denial of the reality of your imaginal act. Your only task is to persist in the assumption that what you desire is already yours. The how and when are not your concern. Trust in the wisdom of your subconscious mind to bring about the fulfillment of your desire in ways that you cannot even imagine. Remember, the outer world is a delayed reflection of your inner state. Just as it takes time for light from distant stars to reach the earth, it may take time for the changes in your consciousness to fully manifest in your physical reality. But make no mistake, the change has already occurred the moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is why I say to you now, your prayer is about to be answered. In the realm of imagination, where all creation takes place, it is already answered. Your task now is to align yourself with this truth, to live and move, and have your being in the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. Let us consider for a moment the nature of consciousness. Most of us go through life believing that we are our bodies, our thoughts, our emotions. But I tell you now, you are none of these things. You are pure awareness, the observer of all these phenomena. Your true self is not affected by the circumstances of your life. It is not limited by your past experiences or your current situation. It is infinite, eternal, and all-powerful. When you identify with this true self, you tap into a wellspring of creative power that knows no bounds. This is the meaning behind the biblical statement, I and my Father are one. Your human personality, with all its limitations and fears, is not separate from the infinite creative power of the universe. They are one and the same. When you truly understand and internalize this truth, you will see that there is nothing you cannot be, do, or have. Now, some of you may be thinking, but what about other people? Don't they have their own free will? How can I manifest a specific person or situation that involves others? To this I say there are no others. There is only one consciousness, individualized in billions of forms, but ultimately one. The people in your life are playing the roles that you have assigned to them through your beliefs and assumptions. When you change your conception of yourself and others, they must change to reflect your new awareness. This is not about controlling others, but about realizing that the entire world is yourself pushed out. This understanding brings with it a great responsibility. If you are the operating power in your world, if your consciousness is creating your reality, then you must be vouching about what you accept as true. Every thought, every assumption, every belief is a seed that will grow into experience. This is why it is so crucial to guard the door of your mind. Be selective about what you allow to take root in your consciousness. Choose thoughts and assumptions that align with your desires, that reflect the reality you wish to experience. And when you find yourself faced with undesirable circumstances, remember these are not obstacles to be overcome. They are opportunities to practice your power of revision. You can literally revise any event in your imagination. And if you do so with conviction and persistence, you will see your revised version replace the original in your physical experience. This power of revision is not limited to current or future events. You can even revise your past. If there are memories that pain you, experiences that you feel have limited you in some way, you can go back in your imagination and rewrite those scenes. As you do this, you will find that your present circumstances begin to change, aligning themselves with your new, revised past. Now, I want to address a question that may be arising in some of your minds. If I have this power to create my reality, why have I experienced hardship and suffering in my life? This is a profound question, and the answer lies in understanding the nature of consciousness and its evolution. You see, your life experiences, both positive and negative, are not punishments or rewards from an external source. They are the natural outpicturing of your state of consciousness. Often we are not aware of our deepest beliefs and assumptions. These subconscious patterns shape our reality without our conscious awareness. The challenges and difficulties you have faced in your life have served a purpose. They have brought you to this moment, to this understanding of your true power. Without them, you might never have sought a deeper truth, never have awakened to your divine nature. Moreover, what we perceive as hardship or suffering is often the breaking down of old patterns to make way for new growth. Just as a caterpillar must struggle to break free from its cocoon, strengthening its wings in the process, so too do our struggles strengthen us and prepare us for higher states of consciousness. But now that you are aware of your power, now that you understand the law of assumption, you no longer need to learn through suffering. You can consciously choose your state of being, and in doing so, choose your experiences. This is the meaning of the biblical injunction to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. As you change your habitual thought patterns, as you cultivate new assumptions about yourself and the world, you literally transform your entire experience of reality. Remember, consciousness is the only reality. What you are conscious of being, you become. This is why it is so important to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, to live from the end. By doing so, you are choosing to be conscious of your desire as an accomplished fact. As you go through your day, continually remind yourself of this truth. Whatever situation you find yourself in, whatever circumstances you encounter, ask yourself, how would I feel if my desire were already fulfilled? Then assume that feeling. Let it permeate your entire being. This practice may feel strange or unnatural at first. Your senses, conditioned by a lifetime of external focus, may rebel against this new way of being, but persist. Remember, your senses show you the world as it was, not as it is. They reflect the beliefs and assumptions you held in the past. As you maintain your new assumption, your senses will gradually align with your new reality. Now, let us delve deeper into the mechanics of manifestation. Many of you may be wondering about the role of detachment in this process. Should you be constantly focused on your desire, or should you let go and let God? The truth is, both attachment and detachment play a role in the manifestation process. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, you are attaching yourself to the reality of your desire. You are claiming it as your own here and now. But at the same time, you must detach from the need for your desire to manifest in a particular way or within a specific time frame. This detachment comes naturally when you truly believe in the reality of your imaginal form. Just as you don't anxiously wait for the sun to rise each morning, knowing with certainty that it will, so too should you rest in the certainty that your desire is already yours. This state of relaxed assumption is the key to effortless manifestation. It is the Sabbath spoken of in Scripture, the rest we enter into when we cease from our own labors and allow the Lord to work on our behalf. As you go about your daily life, maintain an attitude of quiet confidence. Know that the entire universe is working to bring about the fulfillment of your desire. Your only task is to remain faithful to your assumption, to persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Now, some of you may be experiencing what seems like a delay in the manifestation of your desire. Perhaps you've been practicing these principles for some time without seeing tangible results. To you, I say, do not be discouraged. Remember, what you are doing is reprogramming your entire subconscious mind, overcoming a lifetime of limiting beliefs and assumptions. This process takes time, but it is inevitable. Just a seed planted in the ground will inevitably grow into a plant, so too will your assumption inevitably manifest in your physical reality. The only variable is time, and time is determined by the intensity of your faith and the consistency of your assumption. If you find your faith wavering, if doubts and fears arise, do not fight against them. Simply acknowledge them and return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Every time you do this, you are strengthening your new assumption, making it more and more real to you. Remember, the outer world is a delayed reflection of your inner state. Continue to live from the end. Continue to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and you will see your world transform before your eyes. Now, let us address another aspect of this work that many find challenging: the concept of everyone is you pushed out. This principle states that every person in your life is a reflection of your own consciousness. They play the roles that you have assigned to them through your beliefs and assumptions. This can be a difficult concept to accept, especially when we encounter people who seem to oppose our desires or who behave in ways that cause us pain. But I urge you to consider, if everyone is you pushed out, then changing others becomes as simple as changing yourself. Instead of trying to manipulate or control others, focus on changing your conception of them. See them as you would like them to be. Assume that they are already behaving in ways that align with your desire. As you do this consistently, you will be amazed at how their behavior towards you begins to change. This principle extends beyond individual relationships to encompass your entire world experience. The events you see on the news, the state of the economy, the condition of the environment, all of these are reflections of collective human consciousness. And as an individualization of that consciousness, you have the power to influence these collective states through your own assumptions. Imagine the implications of this understanding. By assuming a state of peace and harmony within yourself, you contribute to the manifestation of peace in the world. By assuming abundance and prosperity, you play a part in creating a more prosperous world for all. This is the true meaning of being the change you wish to see in the world. It is not about external action, although inspired action will naturally flow from your changed state. It is about embodying the state of consciousness that corresponds to your desired reality. As you practice living from the end, as you persistently assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you will begin to experience what I call signs following. These are external events and circumstances that confirm your new assumption. They may seem like coincidences or strokes of good fortune, but they are in fact the natural results of your changed consciousness. When you experience these signs following, do not make the mistake of becoming overly excited or attached to them. Simply acknowledge them as confirmation that the law is working and continue to live from the end. Remember, your desire is not something to be achieved in the future. It is a present fact in your imagination, and it is from this present fact that you must live. Now, I want to address a common misconception about this work. Many people believe that the law of assumption can only be used for material gain or personal advantage. Nothing could be further from the truth. The highest use of this law is for spiritual awakening and the realization of your true divine nature. As you practice living from the end, as you cultivate the ability to assume states of consciousness at will, you are in fact preparing yourself for the ultimate assumption, the realization of your oneness with God. This is the true purpose of all desire, to lead you back to your divine source. Every desire you have, whether for material success, loving relationships, or personal growth, is ultimately a desire for the feeling those things will give you. And that feeling is a state of consciousness, a way of being. As you master the art of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are mastering the art of consciously choosing your state of being. This is why I say that desire is the august messenger of God. It is through our desires that we are led to explore different stored consciousness, different ways of being. And through this exploration, we eventually come to realize our true nature as infinite, eternal beings of pure awareness. So do not judge your desires as good or bad, spiritual or material. All desires serve the ultimate purpose of awakening you to your true self. Embrace them. Use them as opportunities to practice the law of assumption, and watch as they lead you to ever higher states of consciousness. As we conclude, remember this: your prayer is already answered. The power to manifest your desires lies within you. It's not about making things happen, but aligning with the reality where they've already occurred. Your imagination is the creative force shaping your world. What you consistently imagine and feel as real will inevitably manifest. This isn't wishful thinking, but a fundamental law of consciousness. Practice living from the end. Feel the joy and gratitude of your fulfilled desire. Let this feeling permeate your being. As you maintain this state, your outer world will reshape itself to match your inner vision. Remember, everyone and everything in your life reflects your consciousness. Change your conception of yourself and others, and watch as your reality transforms. Persistence is key. Your only task is to remain faithful to your assumption. Trust in the perfect timing of the universe. Release attachment to how or when your desire will manifest. Every challenge is an opportunity to practice revision. You can rewrite any event in your imagination, changing your past and present. Your desires are divine messages, leading you to explore different states of consciousness. Embrace them as stepping stones to spiritual awakening. As you master the art of conscious assumption, you're preparing for the ultimate realization, your oneness with the divine. This is the true purpose of all desire and manifestation. Go forth with the knowledge that you are the operant power in your world. Your consciousness creates your reality. Live from this understanding and watch as miracles unfold in your life. Your prayer is answered. Your desire is fulfilled. It is done.
Ladies and gentlemen, our focus today is focus on you. People come and go. This simple phrase holds within it the key to unlocking the infinite potential that resides within each and every one of you. Let us begin by understanding what it truly means to focus on yourself. In the world of appearances, it may seem selfish or egotistical to direct your attention inward. But I tell you, it is the most divine and necessary act you can perform. You see, you are not merely the physical body you inhabit, or the personality you present to the world. You are, in essence, pure consciousness, the very substance of God Himself. When you focus on yourself, you are not focusing on the limited mortal self that is subject to the whims of the external world. No. You are directing your attention to the infinite immortal self that is one with the creative power of the universe. This self is the I Am, the eternal presence that exists beyond time and space. Now, you may ask, but Neville, what about the people in our lives? Are we to ignore them? And to this, I say, people come and go in the world of Caesar, but in the realm of imagination, you are the author of all relationships. Every person in your life is but a reflection of your own consciousness, playing a role in the grand drama of your creation. There's no one to change but self. As you focus on yourself, as you cultivate your imagination and align it with your desires, the world around you, including the people in it, must conform to your new concept of self. It is law. Consider for a moment the story of the prodigal son. He left his father's house, wandering in search of fulfillment in the external world. But it was only when he remembered who he truly was, when he focused on his true identity as the beloved son, that he was able to return home and claim his inheritance. You, my dear friends, are on a similar journey. You have wandered in the world of effects, seeking validation and fulfillment from others. But I tell you, the kingdom is within you. As you turn your attention inward, as you focus on the divine self within, you will find that all you have ever sought is already yours. Now let us delve deeper into the nature of this focus. When I speak of focusing on yourself, I'm not referring to mere positive thinking or affirmations. I'm speaking of a profound shift in consciousness, a complete reorientation of your entire being towards your desired state. This focus is achieved through the power of imagination. For imagination is not a flight of fancy or idle daydreaming. It is the very substance of reality, the creative power of God in action. When you imagine, you are literally molding the substance of the universe according to your will. As you focus on yourself, you must learn to see yourself as you wish to be, not as you currently appear to be. This is the art of revision, of rewriting your past and present to align with your desired future. For time is merely a concept in the world of Caesar. In the realm of imagination, all is known. Imagine yourself as the person you wish to be. See yourself embodying the qualities you admire, living the life you desire. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the fulfillment of being this version of yourself. This is not mere visualization. This is the act of entering into the state of the wish fulfillment. As you persist in this state, as you continually focus on this ideal version of yourself, you will find that your external world begins to shift. People and circumstances will rearrange themselves to match your new concept of self. Some may leave your life, while new individuals who resonate with your new state will enter. Remember, people come and go, but you, the operant power, remain constant. You are the unchanging awareness upon which all change takes place. As you focus on yourself, on your true identity as pure consciousness, you become unshakable, unmoved by the comings and goings of the external world. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, I have tried to focus on myself, to imagine a better life, and yet nothing has changed. To this I sigh. Persistence is key. You must persist in the assumption that you are already the person you wish to be, that you already have what you desire. Consider the biblical story of Joshua and the walls of Jericho. For 6 days, Joshua and his army marched around the city walls, seemingly to no effect. But on the 7th day, as they persisted in their march and sounded their trumpets, the walls came tumbling down. Your desired state, your ideal self, is Jericho. The walls that seem to separate you from it are merely illusions created by your current concept of self. As you persist in your new assumption, as you continue to focus on your ideal self, these walls will inevitably crumble. But remember, the feeling is the secret. It is not enough to merely visualize or affirm your desired state. You must feel the naturalness of being in that state. You must embody the emotions, the sensations, the inner conviction of already being the person you wish to be. As you cultivate this feeling, as you make it more and more real to yourself, you will find that the external world has no choice but to conform. For the outer world is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner state of consciousness. Now, let us address the second part of our topic. People come and go. This statement holds within it a profound truth about the nature of reality and your role as the creator of your experience. In the world of Caesar, relationships appear to be external to us. We believe that people enter and leave our lives based on circumstances beyond our control. But I tell you, this is an illusion. Every person in your life is there because you have called them forth through your consciousness. You are the author of your life story, and every character in it is playing a role that you have assigned. Some are there to challenge you, to push you towards growth. Others are there to support and nurture you. Some may stay for a lifetime, while others may be present for just a moment. But understand this, no one has the power to enter or leave your life without your consent. Your consent may not be conscious in the world of Caesar, but at the level of your true self, your divine imagination, you are always in control. As you focus on yourself, as you shift your concept of self, you will naturally attract people who resonate with your new state. Those who no longer align with your new consciousness may fall away. This is not a loss, but a natural consequence of your growth and evolution. Think of yourself as a radio. As you tune to a new frequency, a new station, you naturally lose reception of the old station. The old station hasn't ceased to exist. You have simply tuned to a different broadcast. Similarly, as you tune your consciousness to a new state, you naturally attract experiences and people that match that frequency. This understanding liberates you from the fear of loss or abandonment. For you realize that you're never truly losing anyone. You are simply shifting your focus, tuning to a new station that better aligns with your desired state of being. Moreover, this knowledge empowers you to consciously create the relationships you desire. Instead of seeking validation or fulfillment from others, you recognize that all relationships are reflections of your relationship with yourself. As you focus on cultivating the qualities you wish to experience in your relationships within yourself, you will naturally attract individuals who embody these qualities. For instance, if you desire a loving partnership, focus on embodying love yourself. Feel the love you wish to receive. Imagine yourself in a state of being deeply loved and appreciated. As you persist in this state, you will find that either your current relationships transform to match this new vibration, or new relationships that embody this love will enter your life. Remember, the external world is dead. It has no power to create or to destroy. All power lies within you, within your consciousness. People do not come and go of their own accord. They enter and exit the stage of your life in perfect accordance with your beliefs and assumptions. This understanding frees you from the need to manipulate or control others. You no longer need to chase after people or cling to relationships out of fear. Instead, you focus on cultivating your ideal state of being, knowing that the right people and circumstances will naturally align with this state. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, what about free will? Don't others have the power to choose whether they want to be in our lives? To this I say, there's only one consciousness, one God, one I am. What appears as separate individuals are merely different aspects of this one consciousness, playing different roles in the grand drama of life. Your job is not to control the actions of others, but to control your own imagination, your own assumptions. As you do this, you will find that others naturally play the roles that align with your assumption. This is not a violation of their free will, but a harmonious dance of consciousness where all parts play their perfect role in the unfolding of your creation. Let us delve deeper into this concept of focusing on yourself, while understanding that people come and go. Imagine, if you will, that you are the director of a grand play. This play is your life, and you are not only the director, but also the lead actor. Every other character in this play, every person you encounter is there to serve the story you are telling. As the director, you have the power to rewrite the script at any moment. You can change the setting, alter the dialogue, and even replace the supporting cast. This is the essence of focusing on yourself. You are not at the mercy of the script or the other actors. You are the creator, the author of your own experience. When you truly grasp this truth, you will no longer be swayed by the comings and goings of others. You will understand that each person who enters your life is there to play a specific role in your unfolding story. Some may have leading roles that span much of your life's journey, while others may have brief cameo appearances. But all are there by your invitation, summoned by your consciousness to play their part. Now you may ask, but Neville, how can I control who enters and exits my life? The answer lies not in trying to manipulate external circumstances, but in changing your own state of consciousness. As you focus on embodying your desired state of being, you will naturally attract people and circumstances that align with this state. Consider the biblical story of Joseph. When he was sold into slavery by his brothers, he could have focused on resentment and victimhood. Instead, he focused on embodying leadership and wisdom. As a result, he rose to become the second most powerful man in Egypt. And even his brothers, who had wronged him, came to serve him. This story illustrates a profound truth. Your external circumstances, including the people in your life, are a reflection of your inner state. As you focus on cultivating the qualities and experiences you desire within yourself, your outer world will rearrange itself to match this inner reality. But remember, this is not about forcing change or trying to control others. It is about aligning yourself with the state of consciousness that naturally attracts your desires. It is about becoming the person who would naturally experience what you wish to experience. Let us take a moment to practice this principle. Close your eyes and imagine yourself as the person you wish to be. See yourself embodying the qualities you admire. Feel the joy, the confidence, the peace that comes with being this version of yourself. Now, from this state, imagine the kind of people who would naturally be in your life. Don't try to force specific individuals into this vision. Simply feel the quality of relationships that would naturally align with this version of you. As you open your eyes, carry this feeling with you. Let it inform your interactions, your decisions, your very way of being in the world. As you persist in this state, you will find that your relationships begin to shift. Some people may fall away, while new individuals who resonate with your new state will enter your life. This is the natural ebb and flow of relationships when you are focused on your own growth and evolution. It is not something to fear or resist, but to embrace as part of your journey of self-realization. Now, let us address a common concern that arises when we speak of focusing on oneself. Some may worry that this approach is selfish or that it neglects the needs of others. But I tell you, there is no greater gift you can give to the world than to fully realize your own divine nature. As you focus on cultivating your highest self, you become a beacon of light for others. You inspire by your very being. You lift others up not through effort or sacrifice, but through the natural radiance of your realized self. Moreover, as you focus on yourself, you come to understand that there is no others to neglect. All is one. The person you see is separate from you, but another aspect of the one consciousness that you are is you elevate your own consciousness. You elevate the consciousness of all. I and my Father are one. This is not a statement of egotism, but a recognition of the fundamental unity of all existence. As you focus on realizing this truth within yourself, you naturally extend love and compassion to all beings, for you recognize them as part of yourself. This understanding transforms your relationships. You no longer seek to get something from others or to change them. Instead, you see each person as a perfect expression of the divine, playing their role in the grand tapestry of existence. You love them not for what they can give you, but for what they are, unique expressions of the one consciousness that you all share. From this place of self-realization and unity consciousness, the coming and going of people in your life takes on a new meaning. You understand that each encounter, each relationship is a divine appointment, orchestrated by your own consciousness for your growth and evolution. Some people may enter your life to challenge you, to push you towards greater self-awareness. Others may come to support and nurture you on your journey. Some may stay for a lifetime, while others may be present for just a moment. But all are perfect. All are necessary. All are you in different guises. As you focus on yourself, on realizing your true nature is pure consciousness, you become like a mighty oak tree. Your roots grow deep into the soil of being, unshaken by the winds of circumstance. People may come and go like leaves on your branches, but you remain steadfast, ever growing. This state of being is your birthright. It is the truth of who you are. As you align with this truth, as you focus on embodying it in every moment, you will find that your life transforms in ways you may have never imagined possible. But remember, this transformation does not happen overnight. It requires persistence, faith, and above all, the willingness to see yourself as you truly are, not as the limited mortal self, but as the infinite, immortal consciousness that is one with God. In your daily life, practice seeing beyond appearances. When you encounter another person, whether they are playing a positive or challenging role in your life, silently acknowledge the divine within them. See them not as separate from you, but as another aspect of the one consciousness that you are. As you do this, you will find that your relationships take on a new depth and meaning. You will no longer be swayed by the opinions or actions of others, for you will recognize that all as you pushed out, every person, every circumstance, is a reflection of your own consciousness. This understanding gives you tremendous power. If all is you pushed out, then by changing yourself, you change your entire world. This is the essence of focusing on yourself. It is not about ignoring others or becoming self-absorbed. It's about recognizing that the key to transforming your life and your relationships lies within you. As you focus on embodying your higher self, as you align with the truth of your being, you will find that the right people naturally gravitate towards you. Those who resonate with your new vibration will enter your life, while those who no longer align with your energy may fall away. This process is natural and necessary. It is the universe, which is none other than your own expanded self, reorganizing itself to match your new state of consciousness. Trust in this process. Know that everyone who enters or exits your life is doing so in perfect divine timing, serving the highest good of all involved. Now let's explore how this understanding can be applied to specific areas of your life. In your romantic relationships, for instance, instead of seeking the perfect partner outside of yourself, focus on embodying the qualities you desire in a relationship. Feel the love, the joy, the companionship you wish to experience. As you persist in this state, you will find that either your current relationship transforms to match this new vibration, or if you're single, the right partner who embodies these qualities will naturally be drawn into your life. Remember, your outer world must conform to your inner assumptions. It is law in your professional life. Instead of striving to impress others or seeking validation from colleagues or superiors, focus on embodying the qualities of success and excellence within yourself. Feel the satisfaction of doing work you love, of being recognized for your contributions, of achieving your goals. As you persist in this state, you will find that opportunities naturally arise that align with your new self-concept. The right people, mentors, collaborators, clients will be drawn to you, recognizing the unique value you bring. In your friendships, instead of trying to fit in or seeking approval from others, focus on being true to yourself. Embody the qualities of authenticity, loyalty, and genuine connection that you wish to experience in your relationships. As you do this, you will find that your social circle naturally evolves. Those who resonate with your authentic self will be drawn closer, while relationships based on superficial connections may fall away. This is not a loss, but a realignment that allows for deeper, more meaningful connections in all areas of your life. Remember that your focus determines your reality. Where you place your attention, your energy flows. By focusing on yourself, not the limited self of the ego, but your true self as pure consciousness, you align with the creative power of the universe.